Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Bohemian Stitchery and I'm Nancy and this is FlossTube number 8. So today I'm going to do a kit parade. Well, I'm going to start a kit parade. I'm not sure I'll finish it. I've got 2 boxes of kits next to me. I'm going to watch the time, and if it starts getting a bit too long, then I'm going to split it into 2 and we can finish the kit parade next time. Before I start, I just wanted to thank everybody who's been watching my channel until now. I'd like to thank everybody who's subscribed and for all of the wonderful comments I've received. I'm sure I'm probably not the only person here on FlossTube who feels this way, but I've spent most of my life just thinking that no matter what I do, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Everybody else is better than I am. And why would I bother? Because I'm just never going to be as good. And I have to admit, before I started a FlossTube channel, I did feel that way. I would watch other FlossTubers and think, oh, you know what? They're so much better, or they're so much more interesting, or they're so much funnier. Who would watch me? So it's been really lovely starting and having people actually watch and comment and subscribe as well. So that's been lovely. I have to admit, I still feel that way. I still watch lots of FlossTubers and I constantly think, oh, I could never be as good as them, or I could never do, you know, this. It's just never enough. That's the problem. So every one of these videos is always a bit of a challenge to say to myself, you know what, just do it. You're talking about something you love. If somebody wants to watch, they will. If they don't want to watch, they won't. So anyway, so just a little thank you to everybody who has supported me up until now. And hopefully there'll be plenty more to come. Anyway, so today I'm going to do a kit parade. Now, I've got my kits in no particular order. They range from reasonably new all the way through to some kits I found which are so old, and I'm talking kind of my mother's era old, that I wonder will I ever do them, but I've got them. I'm not sure why, but I have. So we'll have a look at all of those. Said I'll watch the time, we'll see how we go, and let's get started then. All right, so we'll start with the first box down here. So the first ones, these ones are in some order. I'm not sure if any of you did watch my last video where I was showing you a whip that I discovered from Mitten Designs. It was a sampler, Scottish sampler. I'll put a picture of it up here. It's one that I started, and I said at that time that I was trying to collect all of the Amy Mitten samplers, and I think I had about 10 of them. I'm not sure how many she's got now. It's a lot more than that. I haven't been able to continue collecting, but I'll show you the ones that I've got. So I'll just pull them out as they come out of the box. Okay, and they're not, I have to say, they're not all cross stitch per se. There's all sorts of other stitches in some of these. She's done a fabulous job of really getting into the sort of the spirit and the tradition of a particular country and doing a sampler based on that. So the first one is Excursion 9 from Guatemala. Okay, this one, very colourful, and it's not cross stitch. There's a lot of satin stitch in there, but if you look at the colours of those silks, they really are to die for. So I think that's what she calls herself, fibres to die for. And there's even 2 little worry dolls here, you see, that get attached to the sampler. One of them's here, and then the other one, I'm not sure where the other one gets attached to, but there you go. So that's Guatemala, that's number 9. All right, I'll just throw that on the floor. Okay, the next one is number 10. This is Excursion number 10. This is called Dutch darning. So this is actually a lot of pattern darning. There is some cross stitch here with the date, but much of this is done with pattern darning, which is a counted stitch. It looks really effective. So that's a lovely one. Okay, the next one is called Excursion 12 from Japan. And I think this is what they call Kogin. Okay, so it's a very traditional Japanese pattern. And again, it's stitched in a satin stitch, a straight stitch, essentially, on a counted fabric. So that was number 12. Obviously, I've got more than 10. I thought I had only 10, but oh no, here we go. So this one is Italy, number 11, and that's done in a CC embroidery. Now, a CC is similar to cross stitch, however, things are done in negative. So you stitch the outside and then the inside, the details are done in a kind of a back stitch. It's not always done with cross stitch. Traditionally, you could do long-armed cross stitch. You could do Italian, I think it's called four-sided cross stitch. So there's different ways of doing it. I'm not sure, I haven't actually opened this kit up, so I'm not sure which stitch she uses for that, but that's a traditional CC embroidery sampler. Okay, the next one of these, let's pull them out. This was the very first one I bought because remember I told you get a little passport when you start with this series, and then you get a sticker with each one that you buy, and then you can stick the sticker in your passport as you finish it. So this was excursion number 7, Canada. Now, as you can see, it's almost completely embroidery. It's not cross stitch. The reason I bought this one first is because I had a feeling this one would be limited, because within it is hedgehog spines. So this is done with traditional fibres, and so you get some hedgehog spines in there, dyed hedgehog spines. Let's see if I can get them out and have a look. I had a feeling that once this one was gone, it would be gone. So when I bought them, I bought this one first. There we go. So that's what fascinated me about it. So who stitched with hedgehog spines? But maybe they did back in the day. So, and they're all beautifully dyed as well. So that was a green one. Here's one which has been dyed red. Okay, so so that's a traditional way that they must have stitched, sorry, in Canada at the time. I don't know. I'm only going on what she said. She does give a bit of history within each one of these, so they're really beautiful. So. Okay, next one is excursion number 9, England. Now this is much more traditional in terms of cross stitch, so it's quite limited in colour. As you can see, there's the silks that go with it. It's mainly cross stitch in a traditional sort of Tudor style. Okay, that's that one. What have we got here? Number 3, which is Friesland. This is also cross stitch, quite traditional. Again, fairly muted colours. So I like the horse and cart down here. Horse and carriage, I think is sweet. All right, this one's number 2. It's called Vierlander. All right, that's also very traditional cross stitch. There we go, and that's done in a single colour. So you've got the silks, the silk here. Okay, yeah, that's that one. A couple more. This is number 6, which is Mexico. So there's some different stitches in that one. There's some cross stitch in there. There's a bit of pulled thread work here. And here as well, this is quite traditional. So there's a few different types of motifs in there. So they really stretch you, these. They stretch you beyond cross stitch and into doing a whole lot of other different kinds of stitches using different kinds of fibres, etc. Okay, this one's number 5, Russia. So again, a combination of cross stitch, back stitch, all done in one colour. I really like the red on white. Yeah, it's lovely, that one. And then I think this is the last one. Oh no, that's it. That's all I've got, I think, unless there's, oh yeah, no, hang on. I'm lying. There's a couple more that were just hidden out of order. All right. So this one is number 8, Fez. Obviously Turkey. So that's done in a beautiful blue silk. There's a lot of that. And again, looks like cross stitch, back stitch. And then the last one that I got, I remember this was the last one I bought, which is also fascinating. This one is called Pacific Northwest, or Northwest Coast, Pacific Northwest Coast. Now, there's almost no cross stitch on here. In fact, there is no cross stitch on here at all. You get all the buttons, the shell buttons, and there looks like a bit of applique. Okay, so that's a really interesting one. That'll be quite challenging because I've never done applique before. All right, so that's all of the Amy Mitten ones. Now from here, the rest of these are cross stitch kits. This one is from the Victoria and Albert collection, the V&A collection. It's a cushion. It's called Ship Cushion. Okay, it's quite a big one. It's done on a 14 count Aida, approximately 38 by 38 centimeters, so it's pretty big, full coverage. Big pile of threads, all got to be sorted out there. All right, next one. This is a Jane Greenoff. Now, I talked about Jane Greenoff in one of my previous videos. So she runs the Cross Stitch Guild in Britain. She's a truly delightful lady, very experienced. She's been doing cross stitch designing for 30 odd years. She used to have a magazine many years ago. I have a lot of her kits. I used to go away when I was living in Britain. I used to go away on her retreats, and that was so much fun. And every retreat, of course, she'd have a shop where you could buy all her kits, and she'd give a free kit. I think I've got a couple of kits in here which I didn't start at the retreat because I had other things to stitch on the retreat. So this one is called the Strawberry Sampler Book. Say that 3 times fast. Strawberry Sampler Book. There we are. Now, these books are lovely because they have multiple pages, and inside each page are different specialty stitches, different patterns. I haven't actually opened this one yet, so I'm not going to open it now, but you can see that's the front of the book, and I think there's about 4 pages in there. So you get enough linen to do the whole thing, all the patterns, all of the instructions. And her instructions are excellent. I think somebody commented on one of my previous videos about how they'd never tried Hardanger. And I said, if you want to try, I would highly recommend Jane Greenoff's beginner kits. Her instructions are fantastic. She makes it very, very simple. And you can really surprise yourself thinking, I've never done this before, I don't know how to do it. Of course, like all of them, there's a lot of cross stitch because obviously it's the Cross Stitch Guild, but she does try and introduce other specialty stitches as well, just to challenge you a bit. And then you can make up the whole little book and it becomes this cute little cloth sampler book. And actually from that, I have a bit of an idea, like some of my smaller whips, which is a story behind that. I'll tell you that in a minute. Some of my smaller whips, I was kind of thinking, well, what am I going to do with them? Like when you finish a little tiny small, I mean, there's only so many little cushions you can have. You don't really want to hang them on the wall. And I thought it might be a really good idea to stitch them into like cloth books. So you've got these little books with all of your little finished patterns. It's just an idea. I haven't tried it yet, but I got that idea from Jane Greenoff. So before I forget, just about little whips, I've been hunting around for other whips because I knew I think it was 2019, I did Stitch Mania, and on that Stitch Mania I had started 31 tiny projects. So these are things that you got in the front of magazines, little things. And each day I started a new one. I put them in a little bag, labeled it, etc. Now I have a bag somewhere in this house with 31 tiny started projects. Do you think I can find it? I have looked everywhere. I have turned my craft room upside down. Clearly not upside down enough because they've got to be around somewhere. I don't have a clue what I've done with them. One day, somewhere along the line, I'm going to come across them and I'm just going to go, oh, you idiot. Why did you put them there? Because I would have put them somewhere safe so that I could find them and then never find them again. So I know they're there somewhere, and it's kind of annoying because I'm trying to get all of my whips together, large and small, and I'd really like to know where they are because I'd like to finish them all off. I don't know. I don't know what I've done with them. I've put them away somewhere and never to be seen again. Anyway, so, okay, on with the kit parade. Right. This one is country threads. I think I might have mentioned we get a lot of country threads here in Australia. You can buy them in our kind of Spotlight, which is, it's not, a Spotlight is not like Hobbycraft in Britain or Michael's or whatever in the US. Spotlight is kind of a mixed, you've got craft, you've got a bit of fabric, but it's also got, you know, bedding and sheets and curtains and, you know, house stuff as well. So the craft selection is not great. The cross stitch selection is particularly poor. You can get some stuff there. You can get a lot of these kits, country threads. So this one is called Peekaboo Possum. He's pretty cute. Let's see if I'll get the glare off. There we go. Again, massive big pile of unsorted threads, so that's going to take a bit of time. 14 count white Ada, of course. All right. Next one. Now, this is a bit of an unusual one. I think I picked this one up at my local guild for $5. That's what it says up there. It's a DMC Deco kit. It's called Blue Japanese Porcelain and Flowers. So it's quite unusual. I really liked the unusual sort of shape to it. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Again, it's all sorted. It looks like it's done on a sage green linen. You can see in there behind all the threads. So yeah, 28 count linen. So that's an interesting one. All right, next we've got, so this is from a Teresa Wentzler Design Works. It's called the Celtic Inspiration Collection. All right, now I believe I have all of the materials for all 5 of those charts. So it says here, without knowledge of the past, we shall lose the future. There is no strength without unity. Face the sun, turn your back to the storm. True goodness knows gentleness. So they're all quite lovely. Now, within the kit, there's obviously the threads. There's also some silks, it looks like, and the beads, and then a fairly large piece of linen. So I'm not sure where I got that kit, but it's a pretty decent one. So, okay, next one. This one, while we're on a Celtic theme, this one's by Design Works, and it's got a bit of glare. Okay, so I believe that translates to 100,000 welcomes. Okay, so that's quite pretty. Again, 14 count Ada. All right, the next one is Bucilla Kit. Okay, with the ocean and the shells. I rather like shells. I've got a few with shells. I'm quite attracted to them. I've been really thinking about, as I watch other people's kit parades, and you can see that some of them are quite thematic. Like, you know, there's some people who love animals, and there's some people who like tigers, and then there's some people who like particular things. I've been thinking, what is it that I tend to, I mean, I have very mixed tastes, but what is it that I tend to be attracted to? And I think there's 2 things, if you leave out kind of the angels and fancy ladies, because I love mirabilia. Shells and horses are my 2 things. So I'm always attracted to kits with shells and kits with horses. So actually what I need is a kit with horses on the beach with shells, and then it'd be perfect. So anyway, so that one is called Tranquility, designed by Nancy Rossi, and 14 count Ada, like most of these kits. So I like that. I like the way that that's kind of inset, like the whole thing's stitched, so it's completely full coverage. Looks like there's some half stitches as well, but I really like the way that this sort of frame is created and inset. Okay, next one. This one is a bit difficult to show you because I got this kit secondhand and all I've got is the charts. So I will see if I can track down a picture on the internet to show you. It's by Maya. I don't want to show you the chart, but I can show you the brand. So it's by Maya. And it is called Where are we? Well, this is not very well organised of me, is it? I can show you it's on a lovely piece of red, a 16 count Ada. Let me find the rest of the chart because the name of it is in here. I just don't think it's got a full picture of it. No, that's all the instructions. There's the second half of the chart. Now, it's a Japanese lady, I believe. Misaki, I believe it's called. So I will try and find a picture and show you up here because it'd actually be nice to have a picture of it because otherwise I'm kind of working blind. But I remember, oh, sorry, there's my chart. I remember picking this up, I think, in Britain at a hobby craft, and they were selling it off for like £5 because somebody had opened it and lost the cover or whatever. So, you know, everything else was in there. I did check. The Ada's in there. All the threads are in there. The instructions. There's even needles and stuff. It's just having a look to see what it actually looks like. It's not there. So, all good. Okay, so that one's that one. Next one is an anchor kit. It's a cute little sampler. And it's called Fairy Alphabet. Would have been great when my daughter was little, although she didn't really like fairies. She was not really a girly girl. So I think I might have bought it, assuming that she might be a girly girl. She wasn't a girly girl. Okay, this one's another Jane Greenoff. It's from her sampler collection, and it's called Acorns and Alphabets, and it's this lovely little narrow, try and hold it up so you haven't got too much glare. You see this little long, narrow, almost bell pull-like sampler. And so I've got a very long piece of linen in there and all the threads. So it's really pretty. It'd fit like down the side of a door somewhere. It'd be, you know, and that little bit of wall space would be lovely. Okay, next one, another Jane Greenoff. This is from her special counted collection. It's called Flowery Mead Trio. So you get the needle book, the scissor keep, and the biscornu. And included in that is all the felt that you need for the inside of the needle book, all the instructions to make everything. There's a little bit of hardanger on here, as you can see, but the rest of it is all cross stitch. So, all right. Next one. This is interesting. This is not a cross stitch kit. I was actually going to leave this because I have a lot of non-cross stitch kits as well, but seeing I have it in my hand and I've started talking, I might as well show you. It's actually a surface embroidery kit by Sunset. And it's quite pretty. It's called Butterfly Passion. As you can see, it's mostly done with satin stitch and various surface embroidery. I will, if anybody's interested, I'll go through my non-cross stitch kits because I have several boxes of those, various different types of embroidery, most of it not counted embroidery. So if anybody's interested, I can go through those and do another kit parade for something else, something different, but let's stick with cross stitch for now. So, all right, this one's another Country Threads. This is one of their really big ones, full coverage. It's called The Pioneer, and it's based on a very famous painting here in Australia. It's a triptych. So you stitch all three of these separately, and then they hang as three. Triptych. I should know that. I'm an art historian, for heaven's sake. I should know that. I should know how to pronounce that. Anyway. Alright, next one, another Jane Greenoff one. Do love this one. This is what she calls a ready-made stitches treat. So the bag, the tote bag is already made. All you got to do is stitch the cross-stitch design on it. So you get a lovely linen tote bag. It's obviously a fairly coarse linen, and then you get all the threads to stitch that. So that's quite a fun one. This one is a DMC kit of a little kangaroo. Here we go. Australian Animals by Kate Broadfoot. I think somebody sent me that when I was living in Britain, just to remind me of home. So, next one. Another Jane Greenoff. You can see I've got a lot of these. I love her stuff. This one is a sweet bag. It's called Beaded Tudor Sweet Bag. So again, all of the instructions to make the bag and do the cross stitch on the front, and then you've got a little scissor, what do you call it? Fob. That's what word I was looking for. A little scissor fob that matches to go inside. So that's a quite historical design. Okay, this one's another DMC Deco kit. As you can see, I'll just cover that up. I think I got that on sale, as you can see by the clearance sticker. It's called Vantage Point Profile de Panther. So it's obviously panther profile. Done on black 14 count Ada. Very striking. So that one will look fantastic. So, you know, I pull all these out. I want to start all the things. I want to start all the kits. I've just got to not start all the kits. Oh, it's so hard. Every time I look at them, I'm like, I just want to start them. Right, here we are into horses. So this is where my passion lies. So this is a sunset kit. Again, it was on clearance. You can see where I pick up all my kits from, can't you? This one's called Unicorn Mystique. I love this one. I've actually got a unicorn stitched from an anchor kit, which was one of the first things I ever stitched. It's hanging on my daughter's wall at the moment. Some point I'll do a kind of a historic finish parade just to prove that I do occasionally finish things. And I'll just gather everything I've got on walls around here and in my mum's house and show you some of them. But yeah, I've got another one with a white unicorn, which I have hanging in her room at the moment. So, but I love that one. That I believe is not full coverage, I think, because it's done on a dark blue Ada. Oops, there we go. Okay, what's this one? Next one. Right. Oh, this was also on clearance. God, you'd think I would have taken the stickers off, wouldn't you? But no, I have not. This one, see if we can see what it looks like without all the stickers on the front. It's called I Am Wolf. It's by the Pollyanna Pickering Mystical Spirit Collection. So you can sort of get an idea. I'm just putting my fingers over the sticker. Let's see if that's probably a better. Is that gonna? There you go. So that's what it looks like, the two wolves. That's a really nice one. Okay, again done on black Ada. All right, this one's an old one. Now, this one came from Denmark. So it's done, I believe, in Danish flower thread. I have no idea what the name of the kit company is because I can't read it. Danish Design Copenhagen, and it's actually these ducks. Okay, so that one came from... again, I told you in a previous video about my best friend from school. Her sister sadly took her own life, and she had been a stitcher, and her parents had donated a lot of her stitching stuff to me, and I kept the things that I thought were pretty special, that meant something to me, and then I donated everything else to my local church group where I used to teach. So, and this was one of the ones that I kept because I loved the ducks. I thought they were beautiful. So the ducks themselves aren't stitched, I don't think. No, I don't think so, because it's the outside. So it's almost done in a CC style. Right. Oh, I've got some little ones now. How are we going for time? Yeah, we're getting on with time. Okay, this is a little anchor, little tiny mini kit. Okay, so you can either turn it into a picture or a little bag, and it's called Oregano. And then I have another one called Borage. Now, I know I've got another one of these, which is in that pile of 31 starts somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's got to be in this house somewhere, surely. Okay, this one is by Twillies of Stamford, another tiny little kit. It's a little kitty. Oh, can you see that in the shining? Little kitty. So the background is all stitched on that. It's only little. It's called Mischief. It's really cute. Right, and this one is a tiny little Mill Hill kit for a little magnet. It's a little pear called Jeweled Pear. So you get all the beads. Okay, and that's done on a plastic canvas or no, I think it's perforated paper, like a lot of the Mill Hill kits are. Okay, more little ones. This one is a bookmark. It's called a seed packet bookmark. It's called Watermelon. All right. And this one is called Provence Sheep. It's a little kit done on a linen. All right, Serendipity Designs. This one is called Button Buddies. And you get the little button. A home is not a home without a cat. Okay, and you get the little button to go in with that one. Okay, what else have I got here? Right, bookmarks. Well, we're sticking with the bookmarks. This one's from the Victoria and Albert collection. It's called Thistle Bookmark. Stick with the bookmarks. This one has been opened, so you can't see the picture because it's got everything in the way. But it's a lighthouse bookmark. You would think I would read a lot, wouldn't you? I do actually read a lot. Well, I did actually read a lot. I don't have quite as much time now to read as much as I'd like, but I do have a lot of books. So, okay, here's another bookmark I just saw fell down. So this one is called The Tree of Life. So this is similar to the bookmark I'm stitching the topiary bookmarks by the same company, Textile Heritage Collection. So there's that one. Any more bookmarks? I don't know. Okay, while we're on Heritage Textile Collection, I've got a scissor keep, which is called Damask Rose. It's from the same company. And then another one called Tudor Oak scissor keep. I have two more scissor keeps, both of which I've found. They're whips. I have a fuchsia one and I have a lavender one, but they're currently in my whip box. I have a little miniature, tiny little miniature. This is a little Lanart kit. It's a little mini landscape. And then I have one by Semco Button Craft. So you can make your own little covered buttons. You see, they're really cute. You can get everything in there to make the buttons. Make all these buttons with this kit. So you've got two bunnies and two little girls. So you can put those on things. Okay, more bookmarks. So this is the Anchor Bookmark series. So you've got two in here. So there's two little houses, two little cottages called Cottage Treats. And then this one, I remember buying this in the UK. It's actually a little 3D house. So it's called Apple Tree Cottage. So you actually you stitch and then you make the little house. And I thought that would look really cute hanging on a Christmas tree. Okay, continue with the little ones. So these are letters with Australian animals. So that one is a numbat, N for numbat. Okay. That's a little mouse, X for, who knew? Xeromys, Xeromys. There you go. There is a little Australian creature beginning with X. So if you're ever playing that game of name an animal beginning with each letter of the alphabet, now you know. And then I've got W for wombat. Here's another one from the Textile Heritage Collection. You can tell I like these, can't you? This one is Victorian Strawberries scissor keep. Okay. And then I've got a tiny little kitty. That comes with the hoop and everything, little tiny one. There's another little tiny one that comes with a little hanger called says I love stitching. And then there's this little one by Just Nan. Let's see if I can get it out of the box so you can see what it looks like. So you get the little tin. Okay, so I get the little tin and then you can make the little pocket. Pink Lady's needle book. You make the little needle book. Okay, so I've got all the beads and everything for that. Okay, so that's cute. Let's put that one away. All right, what else have I got in here? No, this one is another little tiny one called a Rose Garden, Piccadilly. Little tiny rose. Elizabeth Stewart Designs. And there's all my little tiny ones. I've got a few more tiny ones. Here we go. This one's a small. Oh, another one from Textile Heritage Collection. Celtic Knot. Makes a little card. I'm not sure about cross-stitch cards. The only time I've ever given cross-stitch cards have either been to my mum, because I know she'll keep them, or to other stitchers, because I always worry with cards. I go to all the trouble to make them, and then people go, oh, isn't that lovely? Thanks, yeah. out it goes, which would break my heart. So I would only ever make cards for somebody I knew was going to appreciate the card. This one's actually a matching one to the Victorian strawberries. It's the needle case, Textile Heritage Collection. And then I've got another bookmark. This is called Celtic Bookmark. Counted cross-stitch needlecraft kits by Cam... Oh, I can't read that. Someone from Britain. I got that one in Britain. Okay, this is a little Mill Hill kit. Okay, treasured holiday sampler kit. You get all the beads and the treasures with it. This one, oh, I've actually got 3 of these. This is one of them. One of them I've started. This one is called, it says, "It's official, I've become my mother," which is very cute. I opened it up at one stage and then put it all in a bag. So I have another one of those while I'm at it. This one is, and it says, "Who are these kids and why are they calling me mum?" And then I've got another one, I can't remember what that is, but it's tucked away somewhere. Oh, here's another one of these little anchor kits called Rosehip. You can make it into a picture or a little pouch. This is another little Lanart kit. You see, it's quite cute. And then this is Millhouse Designs Village Series, and it's a little village inn. I've got lots of these little ones. I'm not showing you all the little kits that I've got from the front of magazines because I've got lots of them. I was collecting magazines for years and years, and I'd keep all the kits from the front with the intention that one day I'd do them all. I've still got them all somewhere. I've got all the magazines as well. I think I went through a phase where at one stage when I moved countries the first time, I got rid of all the magazines, but I ripped out all the charts that I wanted to keep. So I've got a pile of magazine charts, and I made sure to keep all the little charts that went with the little kids. Okay, this one's Honey Pots, the Honey Pot Bears, DMC. This one's called Hot News. That's cute. This one was sent to me by somebody in Russia on an exchange at some point. It's a little cottage. 14 count Ada. Okay, this is a little Jane Greenoff mini. These are what she called wop bows. It's basically a scissor fob, but it's a funny, sort of an interesting shape. So it's kind of got 3 sides to it, and you stitch each side. So this is a very simple sort of starter wat bow. And she loves this design. I'm not sure, I think she might have even made it up herself, but okay. And then another bookmark kit. This is E is for Eeyore. I was going to do that for my sister-in-law. She always loved Winnie the Pooh. Okay. Right, how are we going for time? Ooh, I don't know whether I should start on the second box or whether I should just call it there. I think I'm going to call it there because we're starting to run into some extensive time. I'm going to have at least that amount again with the second box. I might save the second box for the next video. But I just nipped over and got the third one of this series because I know where it is. It says, "Bring the coffee and no one gets hurt." Okay, so I've got 3 of those. And then I also wanted to show you, so I don't do haul very much, but I love looking around at, we call them op shops here in Australia, charity shops in Britain, you know, secondhand shops, whatever. And sometimes you can find some really good stitching stuff. I'm always on the lookout for them. And my daughter and I on the weekend decided to go op shopping on Saturday morning, and I found some kits and they cost me almost nothing. I mean, she charged me like $10 for 4 kits or something. It was ridiculous. So this is one of them. So it's actually got the full kit. It's called Woodland Creatures, and that's the mouse. And I also got the kit for the hedgehog, which I thought was really cute. There's a third one in that series, which is oh, there's actually more than a third one. There's 4 in total. So there's a fox and a bunny in the series. So I'd love to see if I could hunt down the rest of that series and have all 4 of them. It'd be really cute. I really like the little hair. He's really cute. There. Okay, so I got those for $2.50 each or something ridiculous. This is one my daughter chose for me. It's actually already been started. It's Fuchsias, and it's a Semco kit. She loves flowers, She's always attracted towards flowers. And then the other one I got, which cost me about $2.50, was a Riolis kit, full kit. It does say $8 up there. She didn't charge me $8 for it. And it is called Geese. And it's got everything in there. This is my first and only Riolis kit, so I was pretty excited about that. I thought that was lovely. Anyway, so I just thought I'd show you that little bit of haul which I got. So if ever I get haul, it's usually going to be something that I found in charity shops, because I just love hunting around and seeing what I can find. So I am going to leave it there, because I would like to save the second box for another video, because I reckon it'll probably take about 45 minutes to go through that one as well. If you like the look of any of my kits, I mean, they're all quite old. I haven't bought new kits for a while. Watching FlossTube, I'm now getting a list of kits I would like to buy. Unfortunately, people show kits that are quite old, and then you go online to have a look for them. And because they're not like readily available anymore, they're charging extortionate prices. There's a couple of horse kits from Dimensions that I've seen, which I would love, but the cheapest I've found them on eBay is like $170. I'm like, I'm not spending $170 on a secondhand Dimensions kit. So I just keep a watch on them. But this is the problem with FlossTube, is you watch and then you go, oh, I'd like that one, and oh, I'd like that one, and oh, that one's so pretty, I want that one too. So the list starts to grow. So yeah, so if you do, I haven't written them all down below. If anybody's interested, just message me and I'll let you know a bit more detail about the kit. But otherwise, that's my Kit Parade Part 1. I'll be back next week for Kit Parade Part 2. Anyway, until then, happy crafting.